Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to today's Esoteric Influences for the 27th day of August, 2020. Well, this is Thursday, and so Jupiter governs Thursday, but Jupiter is in retrograde. So the expansion that you would normally see, Jupiter brings on big things. It's big energy. Everything is made bigger with Jupiter. But when it's in retrograde, you want to turn that expansion inward and you want to explore uh, how you see things in the world. What are your perceptions, and reevaluate all of that. So for today, I don't know if that's what the feeling of endings is about, but whenever you have a nine energy, 27 reduces to nine. Whenever you have a nine energy like we do today, we see it's almost like a Degas moment. In fact, we had Degas yesterday, and we know from that energy at its saturation point becomes its opposite, according to I don't remember who said that, but I should have written it down, but I didn't. I just wrote down what the person said, but and then put a star. It's like, this isn't mine. but but the idea of something's coming to an end, and something else is beginning, and we don't always know what that is. And so we want to pay attention to synchronicities today to see if we can kind of measure that flow and see where it's going. But basically, a feeling of endings or completion is experienced today with the nine energy. One phase could be ending, another beginning. Sensitivity to the underlying flow may help to achieve insight. So again, understand the flow. This is also going to be moving into tomorrow. So this is going to be like a 2-day thing. And we have this all the time, where we'll have a nine energy, the next one's a one, obviously. But right now, with this in this 22-year, things that are profound are happening. A lot of it, well, most of it isn't any good, right? But from that and out of that can come something better. And so that's kind of we're seeing an end, maybe, even though it seems to be happening all the time, of people of color, black men in particular, being harmed by police. It's becoming so evident that, well, it should have been evident the first time, right? But it takes us a while, evidently, and it shouldn't, right? But now that we have another black man, in the hospital, this is not good. Shot 7 times at point blank range. Come on. That's outrageous. His children were there. What are you doing? So, so we're seeing these ridiculous things happen that should not be happening. They're oppressive, they're criminal, they're all of these things, and we know that, right? But as one period ends, see, another begins. And so hopefully where we're moving toward is enlightenment and change based on that enlightenment and agreement that this can no longer continue. So I think that's the energy, whether it just simply takes place over today or tomorrow. I think that's the energy of the moment. I mean, don't you? A 9 life path, it describes someone who is idealistic, generous, and kind. So let that motivate you into a better direction. If you've been confused at all, drop that confusion, because we need to do something different now. So it's that kind of energetic momentum that we're talking about today. Ingu's 22nd rune of the Elder Futhark. It can be drawn not just as a diamond, but as 2 X's, one on top of the other, like a DNA strand. In fact, that's one of the meanings of this. It's an earth element rune. It basically involves a sudden release of energy. You could think male fertility, again, DNA structure. I use it in a garden bind rune. It's also known as the seed. So you see, the energy of the seed bursting into life. As one period ends, another begins. It's the seed bursting into life, right? But basically, it's our genetic inheritance. It's undeveloped potential. It's also grounding and inner focus, bringing everything to your still point. So for today, the potential of growth is there with Ingus. Because it is the Elder Futhark's expression of the cosmic builder energy. The 22 year that we're in right now is a master number, and it's the cosmic builder, and it's profound change that's soul based. It's fostered or basically incited by the soul saying, okay, enough's enough. You guys have gotten off track so badly now that soul's coming in, and we're going to fix this now from a different state of mind, from a different state of awareness. Instead of the one of ego, it's going to be spirit coming in and taking the reins and saying, no, enough now of this nonsense. But in this 22 year, again, we're experiencing profound soul level change, and Ingus suggests a sudden change in that regard. It would be lovely if something would happen with the Postal Service. They're still getting rid of the sorting machines. Anyway, new information may come out today, though, that sets us on a new course. I think that it comes out all the time, but it's like the bad stuff keeps on moving forward. You can't have campaign events in the White House. So what they ripped up the Rose Garden and made it into a campaign spot in the White House. I mean, that's what they've done. First ladies have been planting things there since what does someone say, 1913? And they're all gone. Their names, all gone. It's something's wrong here, folks. Something's wrong with that picture. The moon is in Sagittarius until it moves this morning into Capricorn, and that's going to happen at 10:37 a.m. my time, Pacific Daylight Time here in Oregon. The energy shifts during the morning hours from adventure to a focus on responsibility. And also your comfort level shifts so your comfort level will shift also to routine, to more routine or structured oriented kinds of stuff. Capricorns feel best when things are in order. They know what they're doing. Everything's organized. They're focused. They're to the exclusion of everything else sometimes. Well, you can see where Sagittarius is also very focused, but maybe more adventuresome. And so some of that's going to go away, and you're going to be focusing a little more on routine today. But if an opportunity does arise, you're also ready to take on more. That's the moon trine Mars. So there may be a moment here where, you're given maybe more to do, or you discover more to do. So if the opportunity comes up to make some progress in another area, do that as well. But you're still going to use that Capricorn focused, practical, studious, centered energy to get things done today. I have a daughter-in-law who's a Capricorn. She's a neuroscientist, so she kind of needs that to be able to do all that work, right? So I have to wonder, she also paints, and that takes also focus. So that could maybe be her outlet, but you have to wonder, is her Capricorn nature what really propelled her in that whole, getting the PhD endeavor, so I don't know, but it's just so very cool. Anyway, on to the human design section of the reading. We're going to want to balance pragmatism with a humanitarian approach today, especially if in a leadership or role, you're going to want to accept advice from others that can transform the process or outcome. The thing about leaders, the ones that do the best are the ones that are not authoritarian, the ones that believe that they don't have all the answers, but they're very good at managing the way forward. And so they gather people together and they take advice and they use that advice to then make the decisions that need to be made, because they're the ones that call the shots. But they need information, and they're not afraid to go out and ask what other people think, and to get experts in, or what have you. It's how our government has typically run, where the president has either a team of rivals or somebody that's going to tell him, hey, wait a minute, or soon her, hopefully, whoever it is sitting in that chair. But the point is that there's people around them that say, hey, wait a minute, you've got intelligence, you've got defense, you've got state, you've got all of these different agencies, all of these different departments that have expertise that then inform the guy in the Oval Office, or the person in the Oval Office, up till now has been a guy, for better or for worse, not always for better, like right now, not better at all. But the point is that they're telling this person what to do and giving them this necessary information. So hopefully you're the sort of leader today that's going to be ready to hear that instead of, oh no, I'm just going to do what I want to do, and I don't believe any of the experts, and I don't believe anybody that's telling me, any of my intelligence people. I don't believe any of that stuff, right? That's what we're dealing with right now. So if you're in a leadership position today, understand that you need advice from other people, and that does not mean that it usurps your position as a leader. In fact, it actually makes people that are following you, that are underneath you, feel a little better about you, because you're willing to listen to reason, you see, instead of the person who's so single-minded that you can't listen to anybody else. So if the situation seems confusing right now, understand that the path forward may still be developing, and after all factors have been considered, the direction will be made clear. Although others may be working behind the scenes to further their own ambitions, their dishonesty will be their undoing. And it just seems to be the whole phrase of the day: their dishonesty will be their undoing. Every time you resort to fakery, to lies, to any of that, you really create your own undoing. Eventually people are going to know, people are going to be wondering, well, what the heck's going on? And you may have some people that decide to find out. You can't live in the lie forever. The lie will never serve you forever. So people, if you're on that side of this equation today, where you're one of the ones that are working behind the scenes to upend everything, well, just stop, because it's only going to be to your own detriment if you do that. Leaders that work that way don't survive, because people eventually rise up and say no more. And I think that's where we're at now collectively. But if this is a leadership role you're taking in your personal life, maybe it's about the social change issues we're dealing with. Be open to the opinions of other people. Be open to their perspectives. There could be something about their life experience that might inform everything, so you don't want to discount anything. You might ultimately, it may be clear that, yeah, that's not going to work, but it might be the answer, the solution to what you're dealing with today. So be open and aware, and don't let the pragmatic approach, argue with the humanitarian one. Just find a way forward. Do what you got to do, but make sure you're being practical about it. So anyhow, I guess that's it. I'm going to go ahead and I don't think I'm going to be able to publish this on Pinterest, though. Not as a video itself. It'll just be a link, because I think I'm over here on my megabytes. So I'm fine on the time, but not on the megabytes. Maybe we'll see. Anyhow, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Be good to yourself. Be good to one another. Wear a mask if you're around people, whether inside or out. And blessed be.